So the original Captain America Brave New World script, plot, details, everything has leaked on Twitter. I have no idea if this is true. I don't know if this is like a fan fiction. There is no merit to this besides the fact that Daniel RPK did retweet this, and he is a reliable leaker, but it's a leaker. We don't know if this was a plan at one point. We don't know if they shot this. As we know, there's been many reshoots that they claim aren't actually a ton of reshoots, but from what we know, it seems like there's a lot of reshoots, a whole lot of things. But this comes from MCU Status and Twitter, and of course was retweeted by Daniel RPK. So, the Captain America 4 original cut, they claim Team Captain America featuring Sam Wilson, the Falcon, and Isaiah as Patriot would verse the Tech Suit Serpent Society to recover stolen adamantium. We did see the adamantium being a big part of the film, and the Serpent Society was cut from what we believe, but that's like a Sidewinder thing. And even my boy Seth Rollins from WWE was supposed to be in it, but it seems like he was in one scene, but ended up being completely cut, but that was originally something there. While chasing brainwashed Isaiah, Ruth totals a car with her shoulder. That's interesting. Now, Ruth was somebody that was underused in the movie. I personally did not like Ruth that much, but maybe because there was so much cut from her. Sam and Joaquin chase down and have a cool fight with Diamondback to learn about Camp Hope. Interesting. I'm reading this off my phone too, so bear with me here. The leader original design was the comic origin of a big head with hair. Now, we did talk about this in another video. He did have the much bigger head instead of the chewed up bubblegum looking head, and they ended up scrapping it, and believe in like reshoots they ended up scrapping it to make it look a little different. And whether you like it or not, it's not comic accurate, but is that good or bad? We don't really know. After Ruth discovers brainwashing, she talks with Sam about her origins of learning she had powers. She also goes to visit Isaiah to say she knows he is innocent. Now, this is interesting. Her going there is, she's supposed to be President Ross's right-hand man, and then she's going to somebody that President Ross has put into jail, and she says, I know you're innocent. Could have an interesting dynamic. I'm wondering why so much of this got cut so far. We do have a hallway scene with Sam and Joaquin that was a little bit longer, it claims. In the aerial fight where we seen Joaquin go down Falcon, he was originally shot down by a jet, which would have been an interesting thing, and, would have more so asked the question, is he going to survive this? Because of Thunderbolts, the scene, and spoiler alert, of course, for Captain America Brave New World at this point, because we're going to go into spoilers, there is a cameo scene with Bucky that was originally wasn't supposed to be part of the script, but was added after, because maybe it's going to lead into Thunderbolts in some way, it's claiming. And Stearns originally orchestrates his own capture to leak Ross's info on the news, and that's kind of what happens as to why he becomes the Red Hulk. The original Sam versus Ross fight seemed less realistic, as Sam was pretty much taking a lot more hits than he originally was, and, making it seem like, he was maybe a super soldier. This is just me gathering what I see from this. Maybe he did take the super soldier serum at this point, maybe leaving the question up as to why he's taking so many hits from a Hulk. But maybe they cut that because, it's not as realistic as they wanted it to be, and there would be complaints from people that, he doesn't even have the super soldier serum and he's taking brutal hits that should probably kill him. The original fight ends after Sam remembers adamantium absorbs Gamma, and Ruth brings him to the canister from the beginning. He uses it to open the wounds he cut into Red Hulk, and the adamantium depowers him. It causes his heart to stop, and Ross, in parentheses, dies. Now, this would have been a really cool thing. This would, going back to the beginning of the movie, and it did highlight in the final scene his cut that, he left the knife in him, and that was a big part of the ending battle. That was interesting that they cut that. I feel like that would have been really cool, and a really cool use of adamantium and something to kind of explain adamantium for the future. And, that would have been a really cool thing. But at this point, there would be a fake funeral for Ross, so he wouldn't be in the raft. He would be technically dead, which is similar to, I believe, Winter Soldier when Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury died. At this funeral, Betty does come, and there is no phone call between President Ross and his daughter Betty. And then we also see Samuel Stearns escape the prison, not the raft, a prison by a brainwashed helicopter pilot. And originally how it ended, the post-credit scene, which I don't know what you think of the post-credit scene or what you don't, but it would see Betty at home on a rainy night, and we would see thunder hit, and there's a silhouette of the Red Hulk kind of appearing and disappearing. That would have been an interesting one. Would it really have meant anything compared to the one we got? I feel like I almost prefer, I don't know why they wouldn't just do both, honestly. I guess maybe because at that point, Ross is in the raft, but, it could have been open for interpretation. I like it. There's a few elements that I wish they kept in there, like the Serpent Society fight, the adamantium at the end, and then maybe the funeral for Ross. But the him getting hit so many times, I'm not a fan of. I wasn't again a fan of the Ruth character, so keeping her out maybe would have been better for me. But maybe I would have liked her a little more if they put more of her in there rather than kind of subsidizing her story. It seems like the movie was supposed to be longer. It's supposed to be more intense, a little less realistic. Let me know what you thought of this, and which cut you kind of preferred after watching this video.